You know, to be honest, I never expected to talk about so many new and upcoming games. I wanted to talk about all the games that I have and I already know I like, but there are so many games coming out that I have to talk about because I am so excited for them, and one of those games is the game we're talking about today. That's right, Kingdom Hearts 4. I'm sure that a lot of you don't actually know that much about the Kingdom Hearts series, so I am going to talk about what Kingdom Hearts is and kind of a little story breakdown in this video, but I'm also going to talk about Kingdom Hearts 4. There might be a few spoilers in this video, so that's just a warning now, you know. I'm going to be talking about the majority of the games, and I'm going to explain why I am excited and what exactly from what we've seen in Kingdom Hearts 4 that I think is going on. I'm going to let you guys know what I think is going on in Kingdom Hearts 4. So if you know about Kingdom Hearts, if you can't wait for Kingdom Hearts 4, if you like Final Fantasy, if you like Square Enix, this is the video for you. Sit back and get ready to learn about a new video game coming out that is going to be absolutely amazing. But this intro is droned on long enough. Let's just push it right aside and get right into the video. So I'm going to start everything off with a recap on me and Kingdom Hearts. You know, I remember playing Kingdom Hearts 2. Kingdom Hearts 1 was a little bit before my time, but I do remember playing Kingdom Hearts 2 when it came out on my PS2 with my brother, and it was amazing, and we went back to Kingdom Hearts 1. So the first Kingdom Hearts game came out back in 2002, and it was a game made by Square Enix, but the game was actually being directed and primarily worked on by Tetsuya Nomura, which I'm probably butchering that name, but if I'm not, you probably know him from his work on the Final Fantasy series, and finally he got to lead a project in the Final Fantasy universe called Kingdom Hearts, and it was a collaboration with Disney, which sounded interesting at first, and interesting kind of in the bad way. To be honest, Disney's kind of associated with kid things, so people kind of thought they were gonna get a kid game, but when they saw the first looks at it, it was Final Fantasy with a Disney twist on it. And once the game actually released, the fans who did start playing it, they fell in love. And as I said, it was a little bit before my time, 2002, a little bit, a year after I was born. So I got into the second game, and after playing the second game, I was right there with those people. I loved this game, and I'll get into what exactly Kingdom Hearts is about. But there was enough hype in this game that they were able to go on to make a Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, 3, and a bunch of games in between. There were games on the Game Boy, there was a game on the DS, there was a game on the 3DS, there were games on the PS2, there were games on the PS3, there were games on the PSP, there were so many different games, and they all were amazing in their own right. And I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say everyone who's played those games is going to be excited for Kingdom Hearts 4. Now, let me get into exactly what Kingdom Hearts is, the story of it. This is kind of where spoilers come into play because I'm going to be talking about most of the story. In a general view, though, you are Sora, and at first, you're just on an island with a bunch of kids. You're a little kid named Sora, and you're on an island with a bunch of other little kids. Now, some of those kids are, in fact, Final Fantasy characters. That's where the Final Fantasy kind of ties in. There are other Final Fantasy tie-ins. That's not the only one. Eventually, though, you get chosen for Light, because the Heartless are attacking and darkness is coming down on the universe and you have to stop it. This is the simple darkness versus light story, and Disney could not be the more right person to do that. But you are Sora, and a Keyblade is granted onto you. I don't know the word that I'm looking for, but you get a Keyblade, which is a giant key that is used as a sword, and you use this Keyblade to fight your way through the Heartless. It's the only thing that can take care of the Heartless and take out the Heartless. So you have to fight through the Heartless, and you finally meet Donald Duck and Goofy. Those are your companions throughout all of the games. Donald Duck and Goofy, which sounds goofy, pun intended, at first, but they are some total BAs when you actually get into the game with them, and they do some damage. They are awesome. And so your best friend, Riku, on the island, he is taken to the darkness, and he becomes a Heartless, pretty much. And the full first game is pretty much you trying to get the Heartless away. You're trying to stop Ansem, who is this crazy guy. And honestly, I don't want to get too much into the story. There's so much story here. I could probably make a 45-minute long video talking about the story, but you have to fight Ansem, and then into the second game, there's Xehanort, and there's Xehanort Ansem, and there's chained people together. I don't know, there's a lot of villains, and in the second game, you actually become Roxas. Sora's asleep, and you are Roxas trying to awaken Sora, and then you learn that Roxas is actually a piece of Sora, and then you actually learn later in the series that Roxas is actually Ventus, and Ventus and Terra and Aqua are three people who used to wield the Keyblade, and then Sora is a part of Ventus actually, and Roxas is a part of Sora, and Roxas looks a lot like Ventus, and Terra is Xehanort, but he's not Xehanort because Xehanort, it took the form. There's so many convoluted storylines, but it all works together, and it is this big, like, anime plot in a game. It really feels like you're playing an anime, and you end up having to stop Organization 13. Organization 13 is the bad guys in the black hoods, and they are trying to destroy the world with darkness, and you are the Keyblade wielders, and you have your squad. You end up saving Roxas and Ventus, and they become both. You end up saving Aqua. You know, King Mickey Mouse is the king, and he's on your team. You end up having a bunch of people that all culminate from either earlier Kingdom Hearts games or Final Fantasy games, and you end up going after Xehanort and Ansem, which are technically the same person, but Xehanort takes the form of Terra, and you haven't saved Terra yet, but then you end up, you know, there is so much. And most of the stuff I just explained is in Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm just jumping all over the place in the story. It's so crazy, and you also have to deal with the Disney villains, because all of the Disney villains end up having their own secret plot within the games. So in your journeys to stop all these big bad villains throughout all the games, you get to go to a bunch of different Disney worlds. For example, you can go to the Pirates of the Caribbean world, where you get to meet Jack Sparrow, or you get to go to the Hercules world, where you get to meet Hercules, and you get to meet the little dwarf Danny DeVito goat thing, and I don't even know what he is, but you get to go to Frozen Land and meet Olaf. That's not one of my favorite, but you get to go there. You get to go to, there's so many, the Toy Story Land, where Toy Story Land is a big part. I'll go into the Toy Story Land one, because that ties in, that the Toy Story Land ties into Kingdom Hearts 4, but you can go to so many, the Alice in Wonderland, Cinderella, they have so many different Disney movies, and it's just a matter of time before, you know, Kingdom Hearts 4 has like Star Wars or Marvel worlds in it, because that's eventually probably gonna happen. But Chip and Dale, the little Disney chipmunks, end up making you this ship, which is called a gummy ship, and that's what allows you to travel from world to world. And within those worlds, there are different characters you get to meet and interact with, and different Heartless to fight, because the Heartless depend on the worlds. There's different magic to find, and different Keyblades to find, and it's just, every game has a well fleshed out world, except for maybe like the Game Boy games, but who cares, honestly, about the Game Boy games compared to the other games? They even have a phone game. They have a phone game that has a really important story to the next game coming out. Now, I think I've talked about what Kingdom Hearts is basically enough, and I want to go into Kingdom Hearts 4 before this video gets way too long, and I want to talk about why I'm excited and what I believe Kingdom Hearts 4 is going to be about. So let's just get right into that. So we honestly don't know much about Kingdom Hearts 4 yet. We just know that Kingdom Hearts 4 will come eventually, probably 2024 or 2025, and we've seen a little bit of a teaser trailer. Now, with all of that, there are a few secrets in Kingdom Hearts 3 that we can use to try and figure out what's going to happen in Kingdom Hearts 4. Now, in the trailer of Kingdom Hearts 4, you see Sora waking up in a very realistic looking city, which you don't normally see. There are not really any realistic cities in Kingdom Hearts, other than in the Toy Story Land. You see this world, which, let me get into real quick. You see a world which ironically looks a lot like a Final Fantasy game, and you see someone named Yozora, which, again, ironically looks kind of like Noctis from Final Fantasy 15, because originally they were kind of supposed to be the same. It gets into it, but you see him in this video game being shown in the Toy Story world called Verum Rex. Now, Verum Rex is a game that the creator of Kingdom Hearts was actually planning on making. He had a full fleshed out game, a full fleshed out city, and it ended up getting scrapped. So he thought, why not throw the characters into Kingdom Hearts and throw a little sneak peek? But with that, all of the characters in the Toy Story realm think you are Yozora because your outfit matches him. And, you know, Yozora, Sora, very similar. But you can actually find a secret fight where you have to fight Yozora. And Yozora tells you that he has been sent to save you. But he doesn't believe that you are Sora. He says you can't be Sora. And you end up fighting, and you wonder, what does he mean he's been sent to save you? And if you look at the city around you, it doesn't look like the Verum Rex city, and it doesn't look like anywhere you've seen. So you're probably wondering what's going on and who is Yozora? Is this just an Easter egg or what? But you later on in the story learn that Riku, the friend that was taken by the Heartless and turned into a Heartless, who actually becomes your friend again, and he becomes lighthearted again. And he's one of the best characters, to be honest. I love Riku. He's one of the coolest people in the whole game. Riku ends up having dreams and visions of this very realistic city called Quadratum. And it could be Quadratum, I don't know, but it's this city that is actually based off a real city in Japan. He sees this city and he doesn't know what it is because, again, it is unlike anything they've seen. And he goes to Merlin to talk to Merlin about it, and Merlin sends him on a quest to Quadratum. But now when you see those scenes of Quadratum and the dreams that Riku has, they are the city where you're fighting Yozora at. So there has to be some tie-in there. So that leads us on to a secret ending where you get to see Riku and Sora in Quadratum, but they're not together. They're looking for each other. And this city is super realistic and they look terrified. They don't know what the cars are. They don't know the lights, but everyone there, it's pretty much real life. It's as if they've been in a dream and they got pulled into real life and they don't know what's going on. So then it pans up to a top of a building where you get to see someone in a Organization 13 coat, which is this black coat where you can't see their face, but you know who they are if you know the Kingdom Hearts games. They are the Master of Masters. Now, to those who don't know who that is, he is a big part of the original Keyblade line and the original Darkness story. There is a game on the phone called Kingdom Hearts X, and a few people made it into a movie cutscene thing where you can watch through and not have to play the game, because the story in that game is actually really important to the main story of Kingdom Hearts. So the Master of Masters is the person who pretty much taught people how to use Keyblades, but then ended up finding these dark magic books and turning to the darkness and wanting more power, and he ends up going on this rampage, and that's a whole nother thing. But he is at the top of one of these buildings looking down as Sora and Riku are looking for each other. Now, they don't know who the Master of Masters is, because the Master of Masters keeps himself secret throughout the game series. You see him maybe once or twice in Kingdom Hearts 3, but that's just a whole nother thing. As I said, I could go on a whole 45-minute long rant about the story of Kingdom Hearts. But in the trailer, Sora wakes up in Quadratum, so you know he's there, and he's greeted by someone who looks an awful lot like Kairi, who is a girl in the series who's kind of like Sora's girlfriend. They've obviously loved each other the whole series, and there's some emotional stuff between them, but she looks a lot like Kairi. She is not. She is actually Strelitzia, a character from Kingdom Hearts X, that game I was talking about. So that kind of left me like, what's she doing there? And why is Sora in Quadratum? Now, he wakes up and gets around, and then it shows him fighting one of the big Heartless from the first game. It's a very familiar looking Heartless, but he has a normal Keyblade that's doing some weird chain grapple, which looks absolutely awesome. And if that's a new parkour thing in the new game, I'm gonna love playing around with that. It looks like Spider-Man. But he's fighting this Heartless alone. You don't see any Donald, Goofy, any magic even. There might be a little bit of magic, but it's not all colorful and cartoony like the other games. It looks a lot more realistic, like what they would do with the Final Fantasy games. Now, at the end of the trailer, we see Goofy and Donald Duck walking down a dark hallway, and they are saying they need to find Sora. They need to get out of there. They need to get back to Sora. I don't know what that's all about. I don't know what anything's all about. But my theory on everything is that Quadratum is the real world, and Sora and Riku have made it to the real world, and maybe everything was a dream. I don't know how they're going to explain all that, but Donald and Goofy can't find Sora because he's in the real world and they cannot make it there. Maybe it's the fact that it's not the real world, it's our world where that stuff can't exist, because how the worlds work is when Sora goes to a new world, he's not Sora, he's the Sora of that world. So let's say he goes to Monsters Inc. world. He would be Monster Sora. Or he goes to the Halloween town from Nightmare Before Christmas, and he has a pumpkin head, and he's one of those nightmare creatures. He becomes from that world. So maybe Donald and Goofy can't get to Quadratum because it's kind of real world. I don't know. I cannot wait to see what we learn, but honestly, this video is droning on long enough. I just wanted to talk about Kingdom Hearts, let you guys know about Kingdom Hearts and what I think might be happening in the Kingdom Hearts 4. I just wanted to talk to you guys about a game that I really like, and I know this video is all over the place. I know some of you don't really like how my videos are structured, but I'm trying to get better at that. Nevertheless, if you are excited for Kingdom Hearts 4, if you love Kingdom Hearts in general, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let me know if you agree or disagree with anything that I said. Let me know what you think is going on in Kingdom Hearts 4 in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, definitely go check out one of my other videos on my channel. Definitely like and subscribe to stay up to date on everything coming out. And don't forget to check out BillyTheWhip.com or just Billy the Whip on any music platform for some awesome new music. And as always, I'm running out of breath. Have a great day, and don't let the darkness take over your heart. The flames growing, flow water is flowing, no paddle still rowing, can't reap without sowing, ain't no cut without mowing, ain't learning no tricks, holding my hand until I'm closing, but I'm rolling down this hill like the rocks I've been throwing, zoning on my zone, but I'm never slowing, bars.